For decades, presidential hopefuls have had the option of relying on public funding, but we're now in the era of a billion-dollar campaign, and some are questioning whether we're approaching the death of public financing in the United States. Lisa Sylvester is here. She's been looking at this story for us. It's staggering the amount of money that's going to go into this next presidential race.
Yes, an enormous sum of cash is what we are talking about, Wolf. 2012 is expected to be the most expensive presidential race ever. President Obama alone is hoping to raise $1 billion. His Republican tenders will likely raise another $1 billion. And then there's the outside groups and the parties. They could raise yet another $1 billion, making what could be potentially a $3 billion race. And this is raising the question, is public financing of presidential campaigns still relevant? President Obama will be very busy in the next few months as candidate Obama. He has a lineup of fundraising events over the next 2 months as his campaign hopes to raise $1 billion for his re-election campaign. That's putting pressure on Republican challengers to decline public campaign funds, a move which would allow them to raise an unlimited sum of private money, making this potentially the costliest presidential race ever. The casualty in all of this could be the decades-old presidential public financing system. Republican Congressman Tom Cole introduced legislation in the House to kill the program.
What we're doing is spending tens of millions of dollars to finance very long-shot candidates. That's a pretty privileged little elite. Why should we spend $600 million when it doesn't educate one American, it doesn't build 1 mile of road, it doesn't defend the country, doesn't educate a kid?
The public financing system was born out of the Watergate scandal, a way to clean up Washington. Taxpayers are asked if they want to donate $3 from the U.S. Treasury to fund the presidential races. Candidates who accept public money also must accept spending limits. Cutting the program would save taxpayers $617 million over the next decade, according to the Congressional Budget Office. Supporters of public financing acknowledge problems with the system. The group Common Cause argues tweak it, don't kill it, saying doing so will open the floodgates to special interests controlling Washington.
Wealthy special interests are getting what they want out of government, and regular people are not. And so, you know, the amount of money that's involved for public funding is minuscule in terms of the whole federal budget, and it's something that's well worth the expense for the public.
Representative Cole's legislation passed the House by a vote of 239 to 160, largely along party lines. It faces a tougher battle in the democratically controlled Senate, and President Obama says he opposes it. But fewer and fewer Americans are opting to check off the box on their tax forms saying they want money from the Treasury to go to finance presidential races. Only 7.3% in 2010. That's down from 28.7% back in 1980, Wolf.
And as you know, the last time the president, when he was running for the White House, he opted out of the public financing. He raised his own money. McCain took the public financing. This time, almost certainly, the president in his re-election bid is going to opt out. For all practical purposes, it's the Democratic president who's killing this option right now.
Yeah, in fact, that is something that Republicans will point out, that ironically, that if you look back, that the death of public financing, in fact, if it does indeed die, that it will be President Obama that people will point to as sort of the starting point, Wolf.
Because he's rejecting it. The Republicans might want it, but that's a fascinating development. Thanks very much. Jack Cafferty's back. He's got your email. He's asking, do you think Hillary Clinton could beat President Obama next year? That's his question. And it takes guts to build a rocket, even more to build the biggest one the world has seen since the moon landing. We have details right here in The Situation Room.